Romania. First time in a meeting with us, and I want to say a few words about you, but maybe you will add the things. You are the master of educational program in Austria, no? And right. You are working with RE/MAX Austria, I don't know, more than 10 years?
No, nearly this year it's 15 years.
Wow, 15 years. You also was the trainer for RE/MAX Europe. I remember that me and Julian and my wife, we did the training, initial training in you after we bought the RE/MAX region like 6-7 years ago. Julian is here also.
Right. Hi, Julian.
Yes. And you was a trainer for RE/MAX Europe for several years. And I don't know, you are also doing business development in RE/MAX Austria, from as I know.
Right.
So please.
Hi, Christian.
Hi, Julian.
Good to see you. Welcome to Romania.
Well, unfortunately, it's only online, but maybe sometimes in the future we can do it personally also.
Yeah? It's the first step, so consider it an invitation. This an open invitation to come here in personal.
Fine.
Okay. So please.
So then maybe let me give some information about the situation, about me, and how we can handle this here in Austria, and how it was impacted Austria real estate market by the COVID situation we all face now in our business daily. First of all, thank you for inviting me for this event. I'm very proud that you invited me to give you some ideas and maybe some insights how we handle it here in Austria, because we have the same situation all over Europe. And first of all, a little bit more to my person. I'm now for more than 30 years in the real estate industry. And 50 years of these 30 years, I'm with RE/MAX now here in Austria and of course Europe. And in these years, I faced a lot of crises, so-called crises. Yeah? Even not that many as our co-founder, Mr. P. He has a lot more crises in his life because it was much longer. He's in the real estate industry. But I faced, let's see, 3 main crises. First was 2001 with the 9/11. That has an impact on the real estate market then. The financial crisis around 2008. And now the COVID-19 crisis in this year. So there are 3 crises. And looking for Elton John, I think every one of you knows Elton John. I always have one song in mind, I'm Still Standing. Yeah. So, and crisis is for me a crisis. What crisis? What means crisis? Crisis means this is, of course, there are some impacts in the economy and in our private situations, but at the end, all these crisis things happens in our brain. So it depends on how we have to act now when there's a situation that is more challenging than we are used to have it. And you have 2 ways to do it. One thing is to be beaten, to lock down, lay down and say, oh God, I have known it every time. Sometimes worse will coming and now it's here. Or you do the second thing, and this is what the winners do. You think, okay, there is a challenge and now I stand up and do more productivity, more energy to handle this current situation as fast as possible. Because when we look back in the history of companies and winners, then we find out that all these winners had this mindset, even when it's tougher to be in the market and be good prepared in this tough situation, they came back out quicker and bigger after this challenging situation. So it's very important to face that and be aware that we can do it really good when we now get prepared. And to have a lockdown does not mean that we have to have no work to do. There is enough work we can do. And unfortunately, we now have seen that we have more time for work as an agent that we can do, that we always had the argument that we have no time to do it. Now we have. And therefore, this was the way we started to handle this situation, to do the best out of it. By the way, since 1988, there were 13 crises all over the world. 13, but only 5 were really impacting for also Europe. So you see, it's still here. Market is here. Europe is here. Industry is here. It works. But the people you lose are the weak ones that are not willing to work professional and not focused and not with the activities that are not necessary to keep in track. So let's have a look at. Let's have a look on the situation here in Austria. We have our lockdown starting with the 16th of March, so it's similar to you in Romania. And for me, very surprisingly, the Austrians were very disciplined. So they really stay at home. They really took over the home office possibilities to use doing this way, and really try to disconnect socializing in the way to have a distance socializing only. And this works like it seems now really good, because the infections run down very, very fast, and we have a good factor at the moment. And so the government starts to resize it or make it a little bit less stronger in the last week. And now, step by step, more and more industries, more and more businesses can restart their business. First, it was up to 400 square meters facilities. Now it's also the big one can, but you have to have one client on 10 square meters. This is the limitation when you're going to enter the shop. Of course, you need to have your mask on, and keep still the distance. Even very funny, because how different it is. In Austria, we say it should be 1 and 1.5 meter in distance. On other parts of the world, it's 3 meters to 4 meters. So it's very interesting. So maybe the virus in Austria is not jumping that far than anywhere else. Yeah?
Yes.
Maybe this is the reason. Yeah?
Same here, same distance here.
Okay. So we as a real estate industry have also not the permission to meet clients. So we have to close all the shops, all the offices, and it was not allowed to meet clients to do business anymore. The only thing that was allowed is if you already have finished a business, then you can go to overgive the property from one to the other one, but only with the social distance and the mask and all these things. That was the only business, but it's not a new business. It's just finishing old business, so nothing new was coming up. And when we looked out on our webpage, and we really could see this impact that has taken place in this period. Just to mention, to give you an idea, where we did a survey in Austria asking the people in Austria what are the most well-known real estate platforms you know. And of course, there is ImmoScout and some other big national real estate portals. And on number 3 is remax.at. So we are the third most important and known portal, even we are not a portal, but known as a portal in Austria. So if there is some changes, it really is an impact from the market in general. And we found out that in the first 1 to 2 weeks of this COVID lockdown phase, our visits on the webpage go down to the level of 2019, March 2019. So this is a lot, because we are always increasing our visits on our webpage. And then we started our activities and say, people, agents, we have to do more to get more presence outside and get more in contact to all the people there. And there are still a lot of things you can do to keep track with your clients, to keep track with your communities, but you can't do it personally. You have to find other ways to do it. And then we started our webinars like you do. Great job so far. Yeah? And it's not easy to give you a big clap on your shoulders. It's not easy to do so many webinars and have always different themes to transport there. Yeah, so it's a tough thing. So really great job. So we started also with this because we said first we want to help them to showing up the activities that are possible to do. But the most important thing is the mindset again. To say we have every day at 9 in the morning, there is this webinar series, and be part of it. So you have a systematical approach for every day. When you start, you have an idea every day in the morning what you can do this day. So then that you can keep your pace in working. Different ways, but your pace in working, you have a structure and you can hold on the structure to be not in the face of falling down, but keep up and go forward, move forward. You know? And so we showed them so many activities they can do now to keep this contract. So the first thing was to get in contact with all the sellers they have contracts with and send them a short video saying, hey, yes, we have this COVID-19 phase at the moment, and it's not possible to meet you personally, and it's not possible to do our business in the regular way, but we're still here, we're still alive, and we're still working on it, but we're going to do it on a different way. And what I will suggest to you, if you would like it, we can have now a weekly video call just to keep in contact, that you can see and can hear from me what I am doing at that time with your property. And we really suggest you to do video calls, and not only calls, just do video calls, because there's more emotion when you can see the other one on the other side of the phone. Video calls doing normally in Austria by WhatsApp. This is the most used platform for doing video calling here in Austria. Yeah?
What's the name?
WhatsApp.
Ah, WhatsApp, yes.
You have WhatsApp also there. Yeah?
Yes, of course.
Worldwide. Yeah? But this is the most used here for us. Yeah. Then we suggest them to do a short video for their clients they have contact with. So people that are looking for properties and they are engaged with. But one video for all, but do it as a video newsletter to send them to them. Hey, this is the situation. We are at the moment a little bit more, do not have the same possibilities as before to serve you, but we will follow all your needs and we still keep you in contact and informed if there's something changing. The next most important thing is, and we had it done already before, but there's now a possibility to make more out of this, was the digitalization of the properties. So, of course, everyone had already pictures and plans in their databases and on the platforms, but the number of 360-degree pictures, 360-degree tours, and, of course, videos was a little bit less. And now this was the time they could do to go out, because they were allowed to visit the properties when when no one was living in there, to go there and do 360 pictures, video tours, and videos from the properties. And we forced them to do that more and more, and bring them into their social media channels and show people what's on. Even if there was a bigger demand on properties to offer open houses per video or visits per video. So some of our agents did video visits. They make an appointment with the client, and the client was at that time on WhatsApp, and they started the camera on their phones and go through the property, and the client could say what they want to see more or less. And so they had the contact by WhatsApp and making the video visiting for some properties. So the thing is that the clients really love that they have the possibility to do it. And the next and very important thing was to say we need to have a lot of content for the social media channels to get more and more visibility there as an agent, as an office, and of course as a brand. And we showed them a lot of content that they can do. We gave them examples for the wording. We gave them examples for taking pictures and these things, that they can spread the mouth more and more about the social media channels. So that means this was content about the company. That was content about the offices. That was content about the agent himself or herself. That was content about the farm. That was content about some knowledge transfer, what people should know about some legal advising. This was content about what an agent is doing, just to show what our profession is like. That the people get more and more information about that an agent is much more doing than only making an advertising and blocking up doors. That there's much more work behind an agent's work. And this was the power that we can here bring to the web and bring it to the mind of the people out there. And funny or not, or interesting or not, this really has an impact on the people out there, because after in week 3 to week 4, we already were back with the visits with what we had before the crisis. So it only took 2 weeks of activities on Facebook and on other social media channels to bring all the people back to our portal, to our remix.at site. And we had the same visits and the same emails coming to the agents that it was before, after in week 3 and week 4. And now at the end, after 8 weeks, we had 8 weeks of lockdown for our business here. And at the end, we have more visits and clicks on the webpage than we had before COVID. So even if in this crisis, we didn't face crisis, we did more out of it to be on the market, present on the market. And the social media channels about Google and the other ways that are linking to our webpage has a plus of 130%.
Wow.
So this was very little in the past, and it gets now in this crisis, and with all these activities up to 130% more than before the crisis. Yeah? So this can really show all of you this is really working, and people are there in these social media networks, and they have time to be there. They have time to follow interesting people, interesting content, and as we see, they really use it and try to keep it track. And on the other hand, we see that the people have now the time to get more engaged with real estate when they are looking for, because they have not the time. They sit at home and have time to do that. And even in this time, our agents had the chance to do listings. So we are getting in new listings, exclusive listings, of course. And they were done by telephoning, by video conferencing online. Yeah? So they did the listing presentations online. They show what they can do with the PowerPoint, within a video conference. Yeah? And people were willing to do that. As you might know, we have a digital process for the bidding. So
yes,
we call it our Dave. Yeah, and even this one works in this period because no one has to go anywhere. They can do it all online. Yeah, so we can finish. They have seen it before the 16th of March, but they can end the procedure in this period of COVID because they can all do this online. So this really works, and yeah, that shows us that it really has, of course, an impact, but we can make it happen that the fall is not that deep, and that the basis on there is it's that strong that we now can get out of this situation stronger than many others of our competitors on the market. You know? And we will see. And the first thing we found out on the market itself is that the type of properties that are people looking for has changed, because now one of the most important factors, it was a factor before also, but not in that mass, is they would like to have a balcony, a terrace, or a small garden, because they now were imprisoned, in their homes, maybe 4 or 5 people in an 80 square meter without any open space. Now they want the people that can afford. They think about properties with an open space in some of these ways. So this is what we can face at the moment, a little bit changing in the market. And the second thing is that we will have an impact on the market, of course, even if it looks good from the numbers. we will see if we can do it in a transaction, because we have a lot of unemployed people at the moment. The last number is 570,000 people are without work at the moment in Austria. So this is 60% more than last year at the same time. So this is really a big number. And there are more than 1 million people in a short work situation. So that means
from 9 in total. What's the population in Austria?
We have 4.2 million people in the work in progress, and 1.1 is at the moment in this short time situation, and 570,000 are without any work. So it's a big number here in common. And what we see, or what we will face in the future, is that if people want to buy something, the banks will be more restrictive giving loans, and maybe this will shorten, or this will what's the right word for this now? It's not that quick anymore. It gets takes a longer time to get to the money, and this will make the amount of transactions in selling a little bit decreasing in the next time. Because we have no idea how many people will come back to work in the next 3 to 6 months. Because we cannot see at the moment how many companies will not survive this phase. And this is a very important factor of how many people can get in the working process again. So this is what we are facing, and this is what we have to wait for on that. So these are the main topics. One more topic is important also. There's still another thing that we suggest them to do, and we force them, very hurtful, but force them to do more and intensive work with their databases. We all have a lot of databases of old clients, of existing clients, of people that are looking for properties. And this is the real gold for our industry normally. And not many of our agents are really working intense with these databases. But there is a lot of money that you can get out of these databases. Maybe give a number. There's a real estate, there's a remix number from a real estate top producers worldwide. And the top producers create 46% of the new business, so nearly the half, out of working with databases. So you don't need to find FISPOs or something else, because you have nearly 50% already in your databases when you really work with that. So we really suggest them to do this, to get in contact, get more contact, have a structure, strategy to work with the databases, to have, let's say, 6 to 9 times the year contact with the database. Could be a call, could be a newsletter, could be a sending of a magazine, could be an invitation, not now, but maybe in autumn later on, so that they really get to know, okay, there is someone, there is an office that is still in contact with me, to get in contact when there is a business coming up for me, for myself, or from a friend, or my sphere somewhere out there.
Yes.
And what also very interesting, but this works all the time, not also here and now, most of the agents lose contact to FISPOs. They had contact. You're all familiar with the term FISPO in Romania? Everyone knows about the FISPO?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we call it same.
Okay. So most of the agents do have once a contact with the FISPO, and if there's a no, they leave it. And we know from other statistics that the lead follow-up by agents, that 50% of the agents follow more than a week. After 2 weeks, 75% of the agents are out. After 3 weeks, 95% of the agents are out. And then the 4th week, you're the one and only who is still in contact with the client. So we have to follow up and stay in contact with the client. And we suggest them all the time, as part of the training, that you keep contact with your old FISPOs where you get a no from the FISPO, or you said no because the conditions were not right, because it was not exclusive, it was not your pricing, and it was not the full commission. Then you have to say no as a professional agent. And then you leave, but you bring them on the list and call back later and stay on that. And we ask them to do this now for all these not gotten FISPOs for the last 6 to 9 months, make a list, and then get in contact again and find out what's the situation for them and find out new listings now on this way. Yeah. So this really works. And this works from all these contacts, you can get another 10 to 20% of the listings you need to make a good deal all over the years. Yeah. So this is the way you could do business even in this time. Keep in contact, and when lockdown gets down or up again, whatever, you are strong and you're fit to do more business than you had maybe done in the past, and be quicker back on this path of success.
Cool.
So a lot of words.
A lot of
words.
Yes, a lot of words.
Anything else you want to hear or you want to know?
We have a question.
Yes.
How can you manage the offer that is significantly lower than the listing price in this period?
So you mean the listing price is your listing price?
Listing price.
The listing price that you set it on the market, and the offer is for someone who wants to buy it.
Yeah, an offer, you know, a buyer makes an offer, and the offer is very, very much lower than the asking price.
So two things. The first, I understand, yeah, but the first question is this listing price your price as the agent suggested, or is it the price that the owner and the seller suggested? No, the owner, the agent.
Viviana opened the mic and...
Okay, it's the price the agent suggested to the owner?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I suppose that it's the same that in here in Austria, that there is the impact on the prices on the market is at the moment not that big that you can say, oh, this is an argument because of the COVID, it has to be that less the value. So if you are really still you're sure that this price is the right price for the market, you should keep track on your price, because you're the professional. You should or you know about the market, and maybe you need some more arguments with the client to explain why this value is the right one. But you have to keep track, because when you say this is the price you find out as an agent, then you should stay to that.
Okay, and the second question, did you have new lead generation source in this period? You already mentioned some ideas, but maybe some more idea about.
Let me go back, or let me answer this with a question of top brokers, top agents in Remax. Yeah, there are 3 sources they gain leads. And this works this time the same than in the other time. First, I already mentioned the database, 46% working with the database. Yeah?
The existing database.
Already existing database, and growing database, because every year you finish transactions, you get old clients in there, past clients you can work with. Yeah? In this database, you have the past clients, you have new clients, you have the people that bring you business, and you have some experts you're working with, and they also give you leads. Yeah? So these are parts of this database. And the second thing is the farm. The farm brings 34% of new business every year to top producers. So that means, and you can do the farming also with the newsletters, you can do it with the postal, sending flyers, or you can go there and put flyers to the post boxes. Yeah? Or on social media campaigns. So social media means there are 2 ways you can do it in your stream, you can be posting your stream, or you're making social media ads where you really face and try to contact special groups of interest to get leads out of this situation. Yeah, and the third part is what I already mentioned: the old listings, the old contacts, to refresh them and keep contact with them. These are the three main lead generation tools top producers are using. Of course, every of these tools have their different channels, but they play on, this is very important, they play on different channels. They don't play only on one or two channels, they really play on different channels, because you need a lot of sources to make the pool full, that there's always enough water running into the pool. And if one of the sources gets weaker, you need to have other sources that there's still enough water
to compensate.
They play on a lot of lead generation channels. Yeah?
Cool. Thank you. Other questions? I have a question about the bidding platform.
Yes.
Dave. Some of the people from our network, they know we are working to implement this tool also here. So I am very curious about the results. I mean, the impact of this tool in Austria. I know you was the first region that implemented in RE/MAX Europe. So do you have some ideas, or I don't know?
Yeah.
To tell us how it works in Austria.
Yes. So the exact figures, Peter knows the exact figures because he's the project manager here in this Dave project. But as I know, we have already more than 1,000 Dave transactions done in the past, and we will have exclusive rights in Austria for last year, for this year, and when we have the same amount of transactions with Dave, we will elongate this exclusivity here in Austria. The idea of Dave was to bring some rumors out of the real estate industry, because there are bad rumors about agents that force people to do offers and help other ones to get the property to a better price. To make it very intransparent and unfair was the bad rumor about the real estate industry. And therefore we said, okay, we need to have another way to change the image of the real estate industry out there. And Dave is one of these possibilities, because Dave makes this process of bidding now very transparent and very fair. And no one can say you help other ones to overbid me, and you give not a feedback to me that I have the chance to do maybe a bigger bidding on that. And now this whole bidding is online, so you can see if so. There are two ways. There's a closed bidding and an open bidding, and it's around 80% choose the open bidding because it's more transparent and gives the people the emotion that it's a fair use to work on this. And normally we really reach between 15 and 20% more than the starting price through this bidding.
How much? 50 to 20?
15 to 20% more. Wow. But the starting price is under the market price. It's not the market price. You have to go under the market price, 10 to 15% under the market price, that you have enough people that are willing to make a bid. Because if you're going within the market price in this bidding transaction, the number of bidders will be too small. So you need to bid down that you have a bigger amount of bidders, and then you can do it. And at the end, I think it was in the end of the last year, we had also a transaction that was more than €1 million done by a Dave transaction program. Yeah?
How many? Sorry.
More than €1 million. So it's not only for the small properties, for 200, 300, It's also can be done by properties that's more than a million worth. Yeah?
Like expensive properties.
Right, the luxury ones.
Yes. And how do the agents get the new tool? Because it's something new. How I don't know.
So they have to get trained. They have to get trained on that. First, there is a video webinar on that. They have to go through this video webinar to get an idea about the program. Then they have we have on our mobiles we have an e-learning platform for all the agents. And one of the tools to learn is about DAVE. Then they have to go through this program there. This is like learning cards. They have a question.
This is written or video?
It's written.
Written.
It's both. There can be videos also, but in this case, there's the video before, and then they have it written. They have the question. They have 4 possibilities for the right answer. That could be 1 right or 2 rights. Yeah, depends on. And at the end, they have to make 100% clear. Then at the end, when they had finished this learning platform, they had an online test on that. And if this online test is already passed positively, then they get signed in to work with Dave.
Wow.
And then when you look our profile pages on our homepage, on the remix.at, with every agent you see a mark set there saying Dave agent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also promoted in the public. If they have a premium means they have a minimum of 4 days training every year. Means also the Dave print mark when they are allowed to work with Dave on the market.
Okay, so they have to pass a test.
Yes.
In order to be authorized, let's say.
Right.
Okay, cool. And how long is the let's say bidding period from the opening to the closing? I mean,
sometimes this depends on how many bidders are in the process, but regularly it's around a week.
1 week.
Yes.
Okay.
So at first you organize an open house or 2, depends on how many people are interested. Then there is a week, 1 to 1.5 week period before starting the Dave process, because the people need to have the financing clear before they start the Dave process. Because when they sign in for the process, they have to declare, yes, financing is done and it works when I'm going to win this bidding process.
Okay. Interesting. We don't have other questions. It's interesting that during the last weeks, many weeks, I don't know exactly how many, 7, 8 weeks, we had many guests from other countries. But at this point, there is no more secrets. Everybody has the same approach, doing online activities, regions doing webinars, I don't know, suggesting or pushing the agents to keep the database, to work the database, like you said.
Right.
And then trying to be active online, like online farming. And that's it. What is the let's say next step after the opening of this lockdown for the agents? What is the advice? What is your advice?
Just let me have a short replication to what you said now, that all the international guests say nearly the same, but in their language,
yes.
or in their intention. This is how you can see what is the value of a network like this. Because you have a lot of people that can prove that all these things really work. If you're a single agent or in single office with no network around, who tells you what's the right way, which
yes.
is really working? And even in a network like ours, where this is now for I think it's 47 years now. Oh God, yeah, really,
Yes.
47 years old. They have all the situations that can happen in a real estate business. They have lived through in these situations all over the world. And the thing is, when you see, and this is what I always tell to my agents here when I meet them and have my presentations, I suggest you have to go minimum once to Las Vegas. So Las Vegas is where the International Convention of RE/MAX takes place. And it's not because of Las Vegas, and it's not about the content, because it's the same content, of course. But you meet there people from India, from South Africa, from Australia, from New Zealand, from China, from Peru, from Argentina, from all over the world. And everywhere it works. So we have no argument about saying, hey, sounds really great, but here in my area, it doesn't work. It's
typical, yes.
Not really. It's wrong. Yeah. So therefore, and this is the strength of a network. Yeah. You can, if you have no power, you go to a webinar, get back, recharge it. You're losing ideas. Go to your office. Go to your region. You will get a lot of ideas to push again forward. So this is the real power of a network. And believe me, I'm more than 30 years now in the industry. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And now to your question, what is the advice? Go out and do business is the advice. Yeah. You are prepared. You are well trained. You're the best agents. You're the group of the best agents in Austria. Of course, there are some other companies that do it also very well. But you're part of the best agents in Austria. So go out and do your business. This is what people like. People like professionals. People like good trained, well-educated agents that can show them the right way to help them answer all the questions they have in their real estate needs. And now, as it is possible to go out there, get in contact, again, go to the social media channels, tell the people you are here, tell the people you have time to work with them and to fulfill their real estate dreams. And this is what we are doing. Yeah. But don't forget, wear a mask, keep social distancing, wash your hands, and all these things that are necessary.
Yeah. All the simple.
Practice is only here.
Yes.
Yes, if you have the focus and you know the strategy and you have the system, this is all what we have learned, our people, then there is no chance to fail when you do it this way.
Okay, Christian, I want to thank you for your, session.
You're welcome.
And let's keep in touch. I want to call Peter because I want to find more about the bidding. We are now working to implement the tool.
Yes.
And consider an official invitation to come here and to have a Austrian beer in Romania.
Okay. What about the wine?
Oh, we have super wine here. You don't have to bring your wine.
Perfect.
Okay.
It will work.
And so, nice places to ride the bicycle. I know you are a real bicycle fan.
Yeah, but only mountain bike, no motorbike.
Yeah, we have mountains here. Just come and you will see.
Okay. So I take my sports dress with me.
Yes. So thank you very much again.
I thank you. All the best to all of you that are joining us today. And I just can give you, keep motivated. There will be at the end of the lockdown, and get prepared now, and you all will be successful when you now do the business in preparation for the upcoming weeks and months. All the best to Romania.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye. Thank
Ciao,
you.
Julian.
Ciao.
Bye.